how's it going, guys? We're here doing a transmission fluid change on a 2013 Smock car. And you say transmission, it's automatic manual. It's a semi kind of manual automatic type transmission that takes manual gear oil. And we're going with some really good stuff. We're going with the manual transmission transaxle gear lube, 75W90 GL4 spec. And you can see on the back all the specs it's good for. It's good for like Mercedes and all the other specs, which this is theoretically a Mercedes. And it takes 2.5 quarts. And on a car like this, with this type of gear lube, you're basically good for 5 years, 100,000 miles. If you want to change it earlier like I do, you're welcome to do it earlier. But this exceeds original equipment by quite a bit. So I definitely recommend the AMSOIL. All right, let's do it. Got our breaker bar and 8mm Allen key. I already broke it loose, so it's already loose. All you do is just loosen up the fill plug, and once the fill plug's loose, now the air can flow. So I'm going to set this down, and now I'm going to go ahead and break loose the bottom bolt, which is right here. This is the drain on this little guy. And let's see here. Alright. And that's it. It's loose. And all you do is finger loosen it. Just come on down. And here we go on the count of 3. A 1, a 2, and 3. And there it goes. You can see all the metallic in there. It's kind of silver. You can see that in there. And this only has 18,000 miles on it. So that's some pretty rough shape oil there. Definitely worth changing. And that's it. That cute little booger, that little transaxle only takes 2.5 quarts. And now we're gonna cork her up, and all we do is just fill her up until she overflows. We'll be back. All right, we're gonna go ahead and cork it up on the bottom. You can see it's just barely dripping. Take a look. And now all we do is just thread it in by hand. Just as smooth as silk. Just like so. And there she is. And now, go ahead and just wipe her up a little bit, you know. Make sure it looks pretty. Try to be as clean as we can. And now with a regular socket, we tighten it down. And you don't have to muscle it that tight. I would just do about 30 pound-feet of torque. You know, and you can do an estimation on that. You don't need to go super tight on it here. So I'm just gonna estimate about 30 pound-feet. That's it. We're good. It's all time to fill her up. All right, now we're doing the gear oil to take a look at what it looks like. Let's take a look. So I can feel it's very sandy on the bottom, and you can see all that kind of silver in there. And what that is little shavings of metal, which you don't want in the transmission. There's no big parts, nothing like that. But we'll go ahead and sprinkle some on here. And you can see it's not clear. It's supposed to be clear. And it's definitely some used lubricant. Definitely time for changing. All right, time to fill her up. Ready to go. Now all we do is put the hose right in the fill plug, right up here. You can feel it go all the way in. And now all we do is fill it up until it overflows. So we got our handy dandy pump. Should take 2.5 quarts. So here we go. All right, we're all ready to go. Now all we do is pump. We have our suck tube in the bottle, the fill inside the diff, and we're good to go. Just nice and lightly, just pump. All right, we're all wrapped up here. It's all filled, we're done. We're just looking at what the old fluid looks like. Now this cute little booger's only got 17,000 miles on it, and look how bad this oil is. Take a look. Look at all this shavings here. All that sandy shavings. So I'll show you. Tough to see it on there, but there is quite a bit. All these little particles. It's like sandpaper inside there. And what that does is it shreds apart your gears. So you definitely don't want that in there. See it? You can hear it. All right. Perfect. So that pretty much sums it all up. We're gonna go drive this little guy, and everything's great. We really appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you. Hey, we're doing a little test drive. There was 40 mile an hour in second gear in a Schmatka. So this thing's just driving beautiful, shifting better, a lot quieter, and just amazing. Just totally different vehicle after changing these fluids. So definitely awesome. All right, we will see you guys. All right, this little guy's been officially AMSOILed. It's got it in the, it's got 75 W90 transaxle gear oil in the transmission, and it's also got 5W40 European motor oil, and it also has the AMSOIL filter, which is good for 1 year, 15,000 miles. So this little guy is going to be getting miles per gallon better on average. Also, the protection is 2 to 3 times better than original equipment. All right, we'll see you guys. We'll see you next time. All right, closing notes. Everything's all wrapped up. Test drive absolutely runs, shifts excellent. It's like a brand new car. All right, we'll see you guys next time.